Hey, what is up guys, this is Cobb and welcome to the 60-day-old account of Mr. Irrelevant, who's got some gear struggles, man. The Kale, you wouldn't think it, man. The Kale's build looking pretty good. He's quite on the fast side, but all in all, his stats looking pretty darn good for a 60-day-old account. And then there's the likes of the Sun Wukong, who's, leaving a little bit more to be desired in terms of the accuracy, the speed, everything, really. The Ugo, not faring a whole lot better. What's going on with this chess piece? God only knows. We are here to fix that, man, and offer all kinds of tips to teach you how to gear your champs optimally. We're going to be talking about all kinds of rules for what kind of gear you should be keeping on your account, what's automatic trash, how to upgrade your gear optimally, save all kinds of silver, and just honestly, it's going to be like the 4 or 5 steps to just get some god tier artifacts on your account, starting off in the early game. And hey man, if you want to get involved in this account takeover series yourself and have your own account reviewed on the channel, the best possible way to do that is to sign up to Raid using my beginner promo link, which is down below at the top of the video description box. Make sure you're using the Google Chrome browser if you're on PC. Click on that link, create a new Raid account on the webpage that is shown on screen right now. And as soon as you've completed the tutorial on that new account, good old Karato Fox Hunter, free legendary champion, will be waiting for you in your inbox. And you'll also get your hands on 3 further epic champions as you continue to level up your account. And hey man, while you're down there in the description box, you can also go ahead and join our Discord server, the Game Leap Discord, where you can share your account in the account takeover submissions channel for a chance at getting involved in this series. I can't get to all of them, but I goddamn do my best, okay? Alright man, let's get to this take. Oh dude, actually, I was already given permission to go ahead and pull the ancient shards on this account during the 2x event from Mr. Irrelevant, the account owner. Should we just get to that straight away, man? That would be kind of a funky way to get started in the video. So yeah, increased chance at pulling He-Man for this event. It's also just a 2x chance during a Summon Rush event as well. And so I suggested you pull the shards. He said go for it. Let's have it, man. Let's just pull the shards straight away and see what we grab. Whole bunch of rares so far. Gator, the Elhain comes out. Gorgorab is a pretty darn good one to have ready to build out. Hope, I can't remember what the hell Hope even does. You know what, I was about to make some kind of joke about her being an absolutely hopeless epic, but at A1 bringing a block buffs, and then on the A3 attack all enemies, 75% chance of removing all buffs. Could she actually be like an okay little support champion to bring into Chimera? Her A2 is actually just an AoE shield as well. It is on a 4-turn cooldown, which sucks a little bit. I don't know, man. Maybe a decent budget option to bring into Chimera. Maybe, probably not. Let's go ahead and pull the remainder of the shards and see what we can pick on up here. It's another epic. It's a piece of crap. Food champion, no problem. Poor Elder Man, he's trying his best. Next pull is another food champion in the form of Chopper. Oh god. Well, we did manage to hit double epic when we pulled the 10, so I can't be too sad about these pulls for Mr. Irrelevant. And the last is an Heiress, which, if anything, can at least be used as a fusion component champ. But alright man, Gorgorab definitely a solid little pull. Brings a revive on his A3, increased attack, 10 meter fill on his A2 on a 310 cooldown. Just a great kit overall, with some buff removal as well on his A1. Yeah, Gorgorab is a good egg, great support champion for the undead holes. So there you go, man. Irrelevant. It wasn't a complete disaster. Okay man, let's get to fixing up some builds and covering some ground rules of what gear you want to be keeping and what gear is just automatically trash. Oh god, look at these boots, man. The flat stat HP boots. Oh my god. Not exactly what you want to be seeing, man. Okay, we've got some work to do, man. So rule number 1 for knowing what kind of gear to hold on to and what kind of gear to throw upgrades in is bear in mind what I consider the 3 sort of golden stats to look for in substats on your items. And these stats are going to be crit rate, accuracy, speed. Right, for me, those 3 stats are the absolutely premium S tier stats that you're looking for. That could be so important for building out basically all champion types in Raid, right? Champs that need accuracy basically can't function without it, and so looking for accuracy rolls on your gear is kind of a huge deal. For your nukers and for your damage dealers, they need 100% crit rate, and so saving any like 4 or 5 star gear in the early game that just happens to roll into some crit rate can be well worth holding onto. And then speed, your champions want to be fast. Anything slower than 160 speed is considered glacially slow. And there are some champions in this game, like good old Apothecary, for example, who doesn't need accuracy. He doesn't need to be doing damage. He's just there to be as fast as humanly possible. And so when we build him out a little bit later on the account, we're just going to be putting all of the best speed gear we have on the account on this guy. Now, the next ground rule for what gear to look out for, well, it's easier to describe what gear is automatically trash at this point. So gloves, chests, and boots can all roll into a variety of primary stats on the gear, right? For example, resistance on this chest plate. We've got some attack percentage all up and over here, some HP percentage here, some accuracy, some attack percent. There's a lot of variation, right, in what kind of stats you can roll into on these 3 item types in specific. And automatically, right off the get-go, if you go into primary stats in your filters and you find that you're holding on to any flat stat, main stats gear pieces for these item types, they're probably trash. They're probably a waste of time, right? Flat HP, flat attack, flat defense. You do not want to be seeing these stats as the primary stat on your gear. And while it's not to say that it's automatically trash, it might be that the substats are really good and it's got like accuracy and speed rolls or something on the substats, in which case you could make a case for maybe rolling one of these gear pieces up to like rank 12. Maybe just in pursuit of rolling into more speed and accuracy stats, for example. That could be a thing. I definitely never recommend taking those gear pieces up to rank 16. That's almost always a huge mistake. For example, these gloves right here, they might be flat stat defense as the main stat, but they're part of the speed set, which is a pretty good set to hold on to, especially in the early game. In fact, just always throughout your raid career. But yeah, it also rolled into a bit of speed and a bit of accuracy. These are fine to leave at rank 12, and honestly could be very useful on whatever champ we equip them on at this early stage in our raid career. But 95% of the time, this gear is just going to be an auto sell, right? Anything with flat stats as a main stat like this on your boots, chest, or gauntlets. Next up, and the final kind of ground rule I'm going to cover for just gear that can be worth keeping, is gear that sort of matches the set that it is for in terms of what stats it rolls into, right? So if you're looking for speed gear, for example, and at the time I'm uploading this, there might even be a dragon tournament active right now, which is a great time to go into the dragon dungeon, farm up a bunch of tournament rewards and get your hands on some speed gear. But if you're farming up speed gear, you're really looking for speed rolls on your speed gear, right? Because generally, if you're going to equip a champion in a speed set, you probably want them to be faster and have more speed, and so speed rolls on the speed gear are generally going to be very good indeed. In fact, this little rank 4 rare quality speed weapon right here that we're looking at right now, it's at least got 1 speed roll, attack percentage, which is fine. Percentage stats are always better than flat stats, of course, even in the substats. This is fine. It's actually a lot better than this epic 5-star weapon right here, where it's like 4% crit rate. We've missed all of the rolls. We went into resistance with these. The attack percent, where's the speed, man? Accuracy is another very easy example as well. Obviously, you're probably looking to bolster up a champion's accuracy stats, and so accuracy substat rolls are probably going to be very good all up in here as well. But speed rolls as well are also going to be decent, because most champions that need accuracy are going to be your debuffers, right? They're going to be the champions that attack in quickly, land things like their decreased defense buffs and stuff like that, or debuffs rather, on the enemy. And so they also want to be pretty quick. They want to be able to attack in quickly and get up those debuffs before your damage dealers then come in and land their big hits, right? So speed rolls, accuracy rolls on your accuracy gear are going to be pretty good. Now contrast this with crit damage gear, where really you're looking for crit rate, and then crit damage is like a secondary stat. You're trying to kind of match, again, the stats to the set bonus, you know? In fact, with all of that in mind, let's just go ahead and have a quick old cleanse, starting with just the boots. The boots are an easy one to figure out, because boots are the only item type in the game that can roll into speed as a primary stat, and so speed boots are absolutely premium, especially on an early game account. Even 4-star boots, 3 stars, yeah, you're pushing it a little bit, but 4 or 5-star boots are great in the earliest months of your raid account, and are going to make a big difference to the power level of your champs. Now, that said, basically anything that is not a speed boot is very expendable, very sellable, right? You can kind of get away with keeping them and trying to roll them up if the substats look like this and they have speed as a substat on the boots. That can work if you then go ahead and upgrade the item just 4 levels at a time and just see where the rolls go. We actually land on speed on these boots, which is great. I'd say if you can hit speed like twice during your rolls while rolling an item up like this. I won't take it any higher than 12. Then it's worth considering. It's worth keeping. These, they probably don't quite make the grade. We could keep them for the time being because we did hit speed one time and crit damage is a very, very good stat to have. But this is kind of how you want to be judging your gear, right? We've got an extra little pair of boots here. Once again, we're just hunting for speed rolls. The fact this went into flat defense right away makes me think that we should probably not even bother rolling this up, but I'll put another one in. Yeah, these ones now become a definite sell. They missed on the speed rolls, right? And you want to be doing this kind of thing during artifact enhancement event so that you're getting all of those free and juicy event points, because why would you not, right? It's free stuff. It's the best possible time to go through your artifact and get all of this stuff done. But for the most part, basically all of these boots are going to be tossed in the trash. They're basically just going to be worthless. And so I'm just going to go ahead and sort of click my way through these boots and just make sure that we're not getting rid of anything that we could potentially roll up in future. So we're basically selling all but 2 of the boots that aren't speed. Now you can do the exact same thing as well when you go through the likes of the gloves. Of course, there's a lot more variety in stats that you can roll on gloves become options as well, and those are great primary stats on your gloves. But anything that's flat stat, you could even just get rid of the attack percentage gloves as well. That might be a little bit controversial, but I don't think so, even in the early game. I think that on your damage dealers, right, which is what your attack percentage gloves would hypothetically be used for, you're really looking for crit rate and crit damage on your gloves, on your nukers, right? Attack percentage, it's fine. It's fine. It's like a distant third in terms of what you're actually looking for main stat on your gloves. Generally, in the early game, crit rate is great, and then eventually you can move into crit damage when you can still hit 100% crit rate on your nukers without the need of having crit rate as a main stat on your gloves, you know. But basically, I'm going to leave the attack percentage ones for now because maybe we're a bit more desperate for gear than I'm expecting. But a lot of these gloves can just go, again, unless they have incredible substat rolls like the gloves that we already talked about right here, right? These speed gloves, you know. And alright, man, let's get to re-gearing some champions live right now. So I've got some gear swaps kind of ready in the preset manager that I'm going to go ahead and employ on some of the main champions that we are using at like max rank and at level 50 and stuff in the account so far. This is going to be a gear swap that we are putting onto the Sun Wukong. The idea is to drive up his attack a hell of a lot more, replace all of those nasty flat stat items that he had on like his boots and stuff like that. He's going to be a hell of a lot faster when we eventually roll these boots up to rank 16, which we definitely should do, Mr. Irrelevant. Next time the next artifact enhancement event comes along, these boots are going to be great. Also, the chest piece can be rolled up a lot too. We've got some attack percentage main here with speed and accuracy. Again, Sun Wukong, he might be a damage dealer, but he does need accuracy to land his block, buffs, debuff skill right on his A3, and so he's one of those accuracy requiring nukers, so we're trying to take care of the accuracy a little bit as well, at least bump it up quite a bit. He's going to gain more attack, his defense is going to go up a little bit, more speed. The crit rate, most importantly, is much closer to 100%, which is usually what you're aiming for with most of your damage dealers, as close to 100% as you can. It's fine to go a little bit over, and his crit damage is going to go up a little bit as well. Now, sadly, we don't have any amulets to put on the Sun Wukong. Ideally, we could find like a crit damage amulet. Crit damage is like best stat in the game once you have 100% crit rate on your damage dealers. Crit damage amulet with accuracy as substat would be amazing, and then an accuracy banner with attack percentage and speed substats would also be like sort of best in slot, you know. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and switch over the Sun Wukong's gear right now. It is going to cost us, we don't have free gear removal, but oh, we actually just completed a challenge as well. Just accidentally, which is great. Lovely. Do we have an amulet to put on? Yeah, we just don't. We just don't. Great ring on the Wukong, by the way. Check this out, man. Oh my god. Blood Shield ring, HP flat. HP flat is fine, I guess. But the triple attack percentage roll, very good indeed for the Sun Wukong. Next up, let's go ahead and take care of the Ugo's gear, which is just definitely rather questionable. Yeah, the Ugo desperately needs more accuracy, desperately needs more speed, so we're going to go ahead and take care of both of those things with switching over the Ugo's gear. She's going to gain all kinds of defense. The HP might look pretty low, but it's just because we haven't rolled up these gear pieces that are now on the gloves and on the chest piece. Well, yeah, these gloves are great. These are fantastic perception gauntlets, right? Accuracy, speed being the set bonus, these fit perfectly, right? Percentage main stat, accuracy speed rolls potentially, and even then a defense percentage roll as well is also totally fine. The stats could go anywhere on these gloves. and they're going to be good. You know, we don't have to worry about it. The chest piece is a little bit more temperamental. I'm going to equip it anyway because it's a 6-star defense percentage. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to do it now. Let's just take it up to like 8. We're just looking for even just 1 roll into speed. Goes double crit rate. Could we do better than this chest? Yeah, to say that options are limited is a bit of an understatement. Let's see if we can go ahead and hit some speed on this, maybe. Bit of crit, bit of speed here. Okay, a little bit of speed roll action. We'll take it to a 12, no further, because again, no artifact. Oh, lovely, man. Double speed roll. Okay, saved. Saved, man. I'd say that this chest piece is now actually better than the 6-star legendary. To be honest, it's also HP percentage, so more healing now. Our defense takes a little bit of a hit, but that's okay. The Ugo needs to be nice and quick. I'd recommend, honestly, taking even these green slippers up to rank 16 as soon as the next artifact enhancement event comes along. Yeah, we don't have any accessories to switch on over to, so we'll go ahead and equip this for a big old gear upgrade on the Oogie, and then we're going to go ahead and switch up the gear on the Husk as well. So the Husk is an HP based champion, and this is another lesson that newer players have got to learn. You got to pay attention to what your champions scale off of, right? So if you go into Kale, Kale is an attack based champ, and so if we check on his skills, damage from his A2, for example, is based on attack. Same for his A1, same for his A3, right? If you go into Husk, he's an HP based champion, right? His A1 damage is based on attack, which is a bit unusual for an HP based champ, but there it is. Damage on his A2 is based on enemy max HP, okay? And on his A3, it's based on Husk's HP. So he's a little bit all over the place. Long story short, attack doesn't do a whole lot for Husk. It only increases the damage of his A1, which makes the likes of these gloves right here on the Husk, attack percentage gloves, not that great, right? Not that amazing. We've also got a couple of offense set pieces on the Husk as well, which is giving him plus 15% attack for this 2 set, which is not great, not ideal. It's not really doing a whole lot for him. We're just looking to build the Husk with as much health as possible, 100% crit if we can, and good accuracy. He brings a stun on his A2 that we definitely want to be landing. So we're going to go ahead and try on this new gear set instead, which I've just now realized is trying to use the same boots as the Wukong. You know what, screw it. We've already ranked his current boots up to 16. They might not give any accuracy and stuff. They give like a lot of useless stats, but whatever, man. We'll just leave him in his regular old rank 16 boots because they're already there, you know. But okay, yeah, let's go ahead and make this switch to the Husk's gear. I think that it's overall a good enough upgrade to justify switching over right now. And that brings us to the Apothecary, and we're going to do this one live. Why am I building up the Apothecary? Because frankly, I feel like the Apothecary is probably the best and most economically viable increase speed champion for us to build on this account, right? He brings increased speed buff, 30% version, very good. Fills ally 10 meter by 15% as well. It's on a 310 cooldown when bucked up, and we have enough rare skill tomes on this account, because I did check, to fully buck up the Apothecary during the next CVC event, which we should definitely do, right? That starts in like 4 or 5 days. So yeah, we should definitely be keeping our eyes out for that and fully book the Apothecary during that event. And the Apothecary is going to be a key component in basically all of our dungeon teams. So yeah, I definitely recommend that we build out him. Alternatively, we could switch this gear over to Haikatoon. Problem is that she requires accuracy for a bunch of her skills because she places decreased speed and has some 10 meter decrease on a A3. And so she's just a bit harder to build, and she's definitely more expensive to book out, right? Because she takes epic skill tomes, whereas Apothecary only takes rare. And so for me, I think the Apothecary does enough to earn his place ahead of Haikatoon on this account. And we're going to gear him up live, man, because Apothecary doesn't need accuracy, and he's just there to increase speed and fill 10 meter and like give a little bit of healing. He just needs to be as fast as possible. That's it. And so a very easy way to gear up champions like Apothecary is go into priority stats. You want to select speed as the highest stat, and then you want to go on down to hide set filters here at the bottom. And then we're just presented with all of the gear on the account that it's just ranked in order, literally, of how much speed they give. And so we could just start to build the fastest possible Apothecary that we could ever dream of using on the account, because again, it's the only stat that he cares about. Now we will touch on this as well. You will notice that I'm using the fitting room feature always hit this goddamn button before gearing up any champion on your account. It's another kind of rookie mistake to just be switching gear in and out. You end up wasting silver, you end up equipping a piece of gear, then upgrading its stats, and then the stat rolls go like crap and you think, oh well, that was a mistake. I wish I just used the bloody fitting room to try the gear on first, so then I can take the gear off for free and not be wasting silver to remove the gear. Yeah, make sure to use the fitting room. It's so good to have the build like fully mapped out on a champion before you pull the trigger and actually get it equipped up. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and probably not prioritize these attack percentage gloves on the apothecary because they rolled into accuracy and stuff as well. The other substats are not that good. Whereas the defense flat stat gloves, it might be flat defense, but I still feel like it's probably doing more for the apothecary anyway than other pieces would do. So I'm going to go ahead and slam on those. We have a weapon here that rolled into that speed stat one time. I think it's probably good enough to go ahead on and equip as well. And this is all we're doing. We're just looking to max the apothecary speed as much as... I'm not even opposed to just rolling up this cruel helmet right here and just hoping that it hits speed and defense as much as possible. It hits the speed at least one time. That might be good enough for me, to be honest. Again, I don't want to take it up any further than that. Just until there's artifact enhancement active. And this gives us a good opportunity to speak to another point as well, to be honest. Especially when you're in like the first 6 months of your raid account. My advice would be ignore the set bonuses a little bit. It's good to like collect gear for sets and stuff like that and try and build sets on champs when you can, but don't be too obsessed with shoehorning in a set on a certain champ, you know? If I was to take, for example, where is it, man? This cruel chest piece right here has rolled into speed twice. It's attack percentage main. It's obviously not the kind of gear that we'd want on the apothecary in the long term. It double rolled into speed, and all I care about right now is making the apothecary as fast as possible. The fact that it's a cruel set on the apothecary is kind of irrelevant. I don't give a damn about the set bonuses on the champ. You should care much more about the stats on the gear ahead of the value of the set, you know? It's fine equipping a champion in 6 pieces of perception gear, you know? But if all of the substats are like flat HP and flat defense and resistance, I don't give a damn if it's 6-star legendary gear. It's probably crap. It's probably not good for the champ that you're putting it on, you know? So stats over sets in the early game is a very good rule of thumb as well. I'm going to go ahead and just roll up some of these chest pieces and just see if we can hit like double speed on any of these 5 or 6-star pieces. Because that would be pretty saucy as well and be a little bit better potentially than this 4-star chest piece that we're currently using. Dude, I gotta tell you, I'm trying to roll up some of these pieces, man. And we are gods at dodging speed rolls today. In fact, I want to say almost every like piece of gear I've rolled up on this account so far, just hunting for builds, has bombed. Like all of them, dude. It's been really unlucky in terms of our stat rolls on this game. At flat HP, it's like the worst of the worst that we could possibly aim to hit, man. Yeah, so we script the bottom of the barrel a little bit here. I don't know if this flat HP again is remarkably unlucky. Okay, we've got the shield here. Crit damage. Try again. Hey, we got 1 speed roll. Okay, lovely. Maybe this is the shield we're gonna end up using, as bad as it is for us. Okay, finally, our luck broke a little bit, man. We managed to hit like a double speed on just a 4-star shield over here. Nice, man. And even with just rank 8 boots, once these are fully upgraded, that's gonna be an extra 20 speed. We're gonna be sitting at a 200 speed apothecary right here, which is great. That's a great goal to aim for with the likes of a champion like apothecary, that you just want to be as fast as you can get him. And yeah. Good stuff. We've also kept the accuracy nice and low, which is great. It's just a useless stat on apothecary anyway. And so let's do it. I think good to go ahead and equip him up. Again, the attack percentage chestplate is probably not the best in the world. Let's be real. Basically any other stat minus this would be better, but it's the only place where we could actually find some decent speed on a chest piece. So yeah, I should mention as well, I will link down below in the video description box my video covering how to gear up and how to prioritize stats on every different kind of type of champion in Raid. I'll put that down below in the description box just in case anybody's unclear on how you want to be gearing up your damage dealers that require accuracy, for example, like Sun Wukong, or just your pure damage dealers, or your debuffers and revivers and healers like Ugo, or just your speed demons like Apothecary, you know. That's going to be down below in the description box in case anybody needs it. Alright, man, as for some starter dungeon teams to look to build out on this account, this is what we got so far, man. For the Ice Golem, we're just looking to have a nice slow and safe run. Against the Ice Golem, I also went into the team AI and took the likes of the Kale and the Sun Wukong and disabled their big AoE skills against the Ice Golem boss itself, because you just want to minimize how many counterattacks you are triggering from the Ice Golem boss. You've got to kill the ads before you start hitting the boss, right? You've got to kill the ads over and over and over, and you don't want to be triggering the boss's counterattack while the ads are alive, else it just ignores 100% of your defense and you're going to get smashed. So yeah, that's what we're doing there. Same thing with the Ugo's decreased defense. We just want to slow down the pace at which we are killing the boss, and then we're going to be using Ugo and throwing Grush on the team as well for just all kinds of extra healing. Also, the Grush is going to bring decreased attack debuff against the boss too, so this is definitely a champion I would recommend taking up to level 50 on this account. The Grush, nice and fast, you know, good accuracy on the guy, and just use him to make your runs nice and safe against Ice Golem. Now, if we want to speed the run up a little bit, we could also go in and start to enable some of these skills again against the Ice Golem boss, like allowing the Ugo to use her decreased defense against the boss would speed things up a hell of a lot. Just be careful. Enable these again one at a time and make sure that you're not dealing too much like rogue damage to the boss that's going to trigger those counterattacks and get yourself killed. Against Spider's Den, I'd recommend just throwing in a whole bunch of AoE damage dealers and just handle the spider like that for the time being. Ideally, we can eventually go in and take maybe the likes of the Sun Wukong and the Kale out of this team. But honestly, even the Ugo as well, and just switch this team completely to be a Spiderling control and 10-meter control team. We actually have Achak the Wenderin on this account right here. This champion right here can be fully booked up to have a once he's got masteries as well, has a 95% land rate AoE freeze on a 310 cooldown on the A3, right? And so this champ right here can come in and just permanently control all of the Spiderlings completely alone. Achak is a cheat code into Spider's Den when he is fully built out. And so that's the champ I would recommend building a future team around. It would be Achak, the likes of Apothecary for a good speed boost, and then just a bunch of champions that are going to control the Spider boss's 10 meter, right? Decrease speed champions. Champions like Armiger, the uncommon champ, right? With this AO1 that decreases enemy 10 meter by 30%. Get him on the team, maybe one more like a Cold Heart or something, you know? And that would be how I would build out the Spider team in the future, but that's quite a ways away, so I just put in kind of like a budget Spider team right now that might be able to get up to like stage 11 or something like that. For the time being, for the super early game, for where we are. For the time being, against Dragon, of course, it's the opposite of Ice Golem. You just try to kill the boss as quickly as you possibly can. Husk deals great percentage health damage with this A2 enemy damage based on enemy max HP. Grit, the Gore Grab pull that we pulled out recently brings an increased attack buff and some turn meter fill, so the Gore Grab's going to be great here as well. Kale's poison damage, good percentage health damage source against the dragon boss, likewise going to be great. Yeah, the dragon team should be nice and sorted once all these champs are built out. And as for the Fire Knight team, we're just lacking champions that can control enemy 10 meter and decrease speed, which is why I'd consider putting the Gruckus on the Fire Knight team. And what's really key with the Fire Knight team, as always, is just controlling when your champs are using certain skills against the boss. Against the boss, it's going to have all of those shield stacks when you first get to it, and so getting all of your attacks in, like the Apothecary's triple hitter, is going to be great against Fire Knight as an opener. Likewise with the Kill, I went ahead and disabled his quadruple hitter A3 in round 2, so we can guarantee that it's ready for round 3 to use instantly against the boss and break through all of those shield stacks, and ideally, open the gate for Gruckus to come in with Gruckus's A2, which we set as the opener, to then come in and place the decreased speed debuff and hopefully reduce enemy 10 meter by 30% as well. Gruckus, again, is kind of the only option that we've got for 10 meter control and decreased speed on the account, and so that's how I would play this. And then we're throwing Husk into the team just to help control the waves and stuff like that with his AoE stun and that kind of deal, which all of these champions are kind of lacking skill books and aren't fully booked out and stuff yet, but, you know, these are the teams that I would look to build out for now on this account. Going into the basic dungeons, so for now, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this one, man. I think that we covered a hell of a lot of useful stuff for newer players when it comes to artifact management and what makes a good artifact. Oh my god, this triple speed roll weapon with a bit of accuracy, crit damage, and attack percentage. Oh god, I feel like the Vince McMahon meme right now, dude, as I read my way down these stats, man. Oh, insane. perception damage dealer style weapon here, man. Very, very good indeed for the kill. Yeah, I hope that we covered all kinds of useful stuff for y'all, and I want to thank all you guys for watching. Once again, make sure to use my beginner promo link down below, man, to create a new account of your own and get yourself a priority pass for getting involved in this account takeover series. I'm doing my best to keep up with all of the submissions, but frankly, there are way, way more than I can handle. Oh my god, I underestimated how much interest there'd be in this series, man. I gotta tell you the truth. Yeah, just make sure you're using Google Chrome if you're on PC before clicking on that beginner link down below, just to guarantee that you get your hands on all of the juicy rewards. Sign up, create that new account, use the webpage to re-download Raid and create a new account, and you'll be good to go with Corrado in your inbox as soon as you finish the tutorial. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all did enjoy this one, and I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.